Good morning, everybody. Kim Wagner here. I'm a registered nurse and a health coach. Today, we are going to be diving into our meal planning session. So let me go ahead and I'm going to tell you just some strategies, some tips, some things that I do to help me kind of meal plan for the week. Although I say that, and knowing that when you learn how to build a healthy plate, meal planning becomes super, super easy if you don't have a plan. So like throughout the week. Okay, so let's think about it. The reason why, either knowing how to build a healthy plate or knowing how to build a healthy plate and having some meal planning is it really just reduces that decision fatigue. When you have a plan, you're not already waking up stressed going, what am I going to eat today? And if you're someone counting macros, how am I going to fit it all in, right? To my macros are going to fit. This is kind of like your pre-game, right? You're already pre-planning, being proactive, alleviating some stress from your life already. Excuse me. And the other nice thing about a plan, which I'm going to go through, I've got my big calendar sitting here, what my week looks like, is you're actually planning it for your real life, right? Like what's actually happening. Um, Meal planning, I think, is great because you're going to find some of those things that really work for you, especially if you have a work day schedule versus a weekend schedule. But again, it's not about perfection. It's about learning some rhythms and some things, even for a little bit of prep that kind of helps your life be a little bit easier during the busy days or the busy weeks. Okay. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to look at my schedule. So for example, I have my, desk calendar here in front of me. I have when I'm going to be working out, when I'm seeing clients, am I doing anything in the evenings? So like just for example, on Monday, I have a dinner at the boathouse. So I don't need to worry about supper for that night, right? The other thing that's a little bit unique for me personally is a lot of people will plan supper as their big meal. I actually plan lunch because that's when my husband and I eat together. So he works in the evening, so my bigger meals are typically lunch. So I'm kind of looking, also more at that as well. So example, Monday I have a dinner out with some clients and coworkers, that type of thing for the cancer program that I help coach. And then like on Tuesday, I have my grandkids over the lunch hour. So I'm already thinking, okay, I need to have something that they're going to want to eat. They love making mini pizzas and their own little pizzas. So, and they also love spaghetti. So that already is kind of going into my brain. Like I know that's going to be something for lunch. Um, I'm going to be at my daughter's on Friday, so I really don't have to worry about dinner then, right? But I do have to worry about who's left here at my house, right? So that's what I'm just kind of looking like. Which nights are going to be busy now? Like let's say coming up in June, 2 days a week, my grandsons have T-ball games, right? So I'm going to be thinking, I definitely want something quick, or I want it to be a leftover, or something that I could actually take with me. I'm kind of notorious in the summer for hitting up baseball games and, all these different things. And so I might build like a smoothie or a smoothie bowl that I can literally take with me. A smoothie in in like my Awala, or something like that. So just be thinking ahead that way. Is there some snackle boxes that you need to, kind of do for a meal instead, like a charcuterie in a box, right? Okay. So do you have, what nights can you actually cook? What nights that you need to have leftovers that you can just heat up? Are there any travel or sports, appointments, church events, which need meals need to be kind of grab and go. So your calendar is basically going to dictate your meal plan for the most part, okay? So examples like if you have a busy night, is there something that you can throw in the crock pot? Is it going to be leftovers? Could you do a sheet pan meal? If you have a slower evening, or maybe even on the weekends, maybe you're going to try a new recipe, right? Where you're just kind of, you can take your time. Or is it, like I said, you have an event that you're going to be going to, or you have a long work day. Is there something that you can already have pre-prepped? So, okay, so that's kind of number one, number step. So know your calendar. Take a look at that. Now, the other thing that I like to do, um, I am a creature of habit. I do a lot of repeatable meals. So, especially breakfast. So, I pretty much have two main breakfasts that I make every single day, or a version of each of those. So, a yogurt bowl would be one. And the variety that might, mix that up is what kind of protein powder am I using? Am I using vanilla today, or am I using chocolate or strawberry or cafe latte? Like, which protein powder, and then which fruit do I want to add? Do I want to add, blueberries, strawberries, and then usually I put some kind of healthy fat in there. So am I going to drizzle a little bit of almond butter, or am I going to put some crunchy nuts, almonds or pistachios or pumpkin seeds? Like, what am I going to put? So the base is always the same, but I'm dressing it up or making a variety with that. Now, I also consider a smoothie and a yogurt bowl kind of like the same thing. So let's say I worked out, I came home, I had to rush to go do the next thing. I might make a smoothie instead of a smoothie bowl because I want to take the smoothie with me. So I consider that one. The second thing would be some kind of eggs. So eggs with egg whites or eggs with cottage cheese. I'm going to put a bunch of veggies in there. Right now, we've got an asparagus patch going crazy, so asparagus. Peppers, onions. I mean, I could dance it up and make it like a Southwest scramble or a Mediterranean scramble. There's different things that I can do to make that egg not feel like the same all the time. And then maybe once on the weekend, maybe I'm going to do something fun like a protein pancake. But for the most part, I'm not veering from yogurt bowl, smoothie, um, some kind of egg or egg bake. And then maybe I'm gonna go and like a little crazy and do something fun, right? Like maybe some baked oatmeal or overnight oats or something different. So just be thinking, your breakfast are repeatable, just pick two. Repeatable lunches, and then maybe two to three different dinners. So all of a sudden, it came from planning 21 meals to really two breakfast, two lunch, and three dinners. So what is that? Two, four, five, six, seven. So you're really just planning 7 meals, right? Now, does that seem a lot more doable? I kind of went over some repeatable meal ideas for breakfast, the yogurt bowls, the egg scrambles. For lunch, actually, just to kind of let you know, for this week, I'm gonna cook, kind of getting into a little bit of prep here, but every week, almost without fail, I cook a full chicken. Like I put a whole chicken in the Instapot. I may use that for chicken salad, like a creamy chicken salad. I may use it for chicken on top of a salad, or I may use that for soup. This week I used it for a chicken casserole that I made. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Like a chicken noodle casserole. I used protein pasta, the goodles, and some cottage cheese to make it extra high protein, and it was excellent. So anyway, but I'm gonna do tuna, and one of my favorite tuna like go-to lunches that I'm gonna have prepped ahead of time is it's tuna, tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, parsley, Italian seasoning, red wine vinegar, a little bit of olive oil, and some quinoa. Or I could do beans, or I could do lentils in it to give it a little bit of fiber. That'd be my smart carb. And then I can just have that ready at the beginning of the week, and I can just have that 3 times. That chicken salad, or sometimes we even do egg salad. I can have that ready to go for the week and just take out. And then I could have veggies or, whatever on the side. So, um, again, having those repeatable meals is very important. You could also do, yeah, so just be thinking like, again, you're kind of going back to that healthy plate. What's some protein things? And sometimes you could have leftovers as well. Okay, so let's say you've looked at your week. You kind of know, what you're gonna do. When I have different things, and so you begin. So like basically, here's my week right here. Breakfast, I'm doing eggs or yogurt bowls. Okay, I'm doing tuna or chicken salad, tuna Mediterranean bowl. Dinner, sheet pan chicken, asparagus because we got a lot of it in our and again, prior to even this, I'm looking, I'm also, I need to say this, I'm looking at my pantry, I'm looking at my freezer. What meat do I have in there already? Because we normally get, like we raise our own beef, or this year, yeah, so far we're still eating off of our own beef. Um, what do I have in there? What veggies do I have available, especially now that the garden is coming? So we have asparagus. We've been eating a ton of asparagus, but I actually did buy some broccoli to kind of mix it up a little bit. We still have, like down in our pantry, we still have beets from the garden last year. We still have green beans. Do I have any corn frozen still from last year's harvest, right? So I'm just kind of evaluating, and the reason why picked tuna is because I went to Costco and I got 5 cans of tuna, right? So I kind of evaluated what I already had in my refrigerator. We have chicken, so easy eggs, for me. Okay, so one day is going to be the sheet pan veggies, and then some baby potatoes, and then some taco bowls, which I could use cauliflower rice or, regular rice, and then salmon, sweet potato, and the broccoli. So again, I'm going to make double of all of this so that I have leftovers so that I can have it, the night before, etc. Um, so some other little tips or tricks. So let's say you've planned your menu. You've After you kind of went around, you looked at your calendar, you saw what you had in the house, which also helps you create your grocery list as well. Um, and then you've made your list, you've gone shopping. So another thing that's going to help you save time and also set you up for success for the week is after you go grocery shopping, you want to wash and prep all your fruit, chop up your veggies. If there's a protein that you're going to be marinating for some reason, like chicken breast, you'll want to just kind of knock that out. It's the best time to do it and get all of that done. And then if I would have time, or I would set just a different day, I'm like, what could I kind of batch prep ahead of time? So some of my staples are going to be like rice and quinoa. I may get the Instapot out and cook some quinoa for the week, right? For those Mediterranean tuna bowls. I may dice up some potatoes or sweet potatoes and get them done. I could do that chicken that I talked about, and some hard-boiled eggs is another option. So I'm just kind of, um, thinking what could I go ahead and just prep while I'm doing other things around the house, right? So, a little bit of meal prep that way. And then another thing, like I said, I like to do is double recipes. So it's like cook once, eat twice. So I might double that taco meat or grill extra chicken, double up a soup or chili, something like that again, so that I have leftovers, or I could put it in a freezer container for kind of like, later. The other thing that I like to make sure that I have on hand is always some frozen veggies. So these are kind of like my emergency foods, right? Like if I don't have anything fresh, I could always pull out some, peas or mixed veggies or something like that from the freezer. I always have like extra tuna on hand. I've always got my protein, Life Shake for my protein shake, just again, to have something there that's convenient and ready to go. Okay. So what I want you basically, originally I had thought we would kind of give you some time so you can just do this on your own. Is to pick two breakfasts and to pick two lunches, um, two dinners, and then even though I encourage not to snack, maybe have a couple snacks that you're going to. I would do 3 dinners if I didn't say that. Um, and Go ahead and take the time now to just kind of work that out. Another thing that I think can be helpful too is you could that would help the menu planning process is to actually have theme nights. So everybody knows Taco Tuesday, right? Like it doesn't have to always be tacos, but it could be burritos, like a burrito or a burrito bowl one night. It could be actual tacos. It could be some kind of a taco bake. it could be ground beef one time, and then it could be chicken and do fajitas. Or so again, you're kind of going with that taco theme or that Southwestern theme. You could always have a soup night, uh, Sunday soups or Saturday soups. Like sometimes I like the two S's or two whatever. People, I'm not a vegetarian or a meatless person, but there was always the meatless Monday, right? So you could do breakfast for dinner one night. I saw a friend who posted that on Fridays, every single Friday, her family makes homemade pizza. So that's just their ritual. That's what they do. They have pizza every Friday night. They make it from scratch. They can obviously mix up. Maybe they're going to do a taco pizza. Maybe, they're going to do individual pizzas, whatever, but they always have a theme. So that's something else that can, again, just kind of, oh, Tuesday, I'm going to plan a taco thing, right? So yeah. Okay. So let's get to your planning time. These are some questions that you want to ask yourself. So I want you to pull out your calendar or your planner, start looking at your week. Which nights are the busiest? Which meals can I repeat? What proteins do you already have? What produce might need used up? And what is anything that you can prep ahead? So just be going through that. Um, and then again, you're planning just a couple breakfast, a couple lunches, maybe three dinners, and a few snacks. Okay. So yeah, I know it's sometimes we think that planning is a waste of time. I know that's usually me. But it really can make life a lot less stressful for you. And so I would just really encourage that. Yeah. And so hopefully this was helpful for you. Again, let me know in the group if there's any questions that you might have, and I hope you have a great day.